Hello and welcome to the Clown Fiesta. Everybody get in. We're strapping in. The APAC region has decided that they've all entered the Chengdu zone and nothing makes sense anymore. I have been told, if you've watched my recent reviews, that this match is worse than the Chengdu Spark game that we reviewed recently. So, strap in. It's going to be a wild one. The Shanghai Dragons are a team that we had high expectations for heading into the season, and they haven't really lived up to that so far. Fleta has been struggling. Mainly Void, whenever he's come in, has not been having the impact that we expect. And just the dominant Dragon that we know and love has yet to really come through. For the Guangzhou Charge, a team that I was very high on heading into the season, have not been performing well. I think on the back of Rio, Winston, Unique on that main support, have just not been having the level of performances that were expected. This match is supposed to be a banger, like a close one, which is... make it make sense at this point. Guangzhou is almost the worst team in the APAC region. Shanghai, we're still making excuses for. So let's just get into it, see how it goes, and go from there.
Now, Lip's an interesting story, and I know a ton about him.
Who are the casters for this one, actually? So we got Lip, Fleta, Void, Lee Jae-gon, and Izayaki coming in here. They actually look better when they play Fade on that Winston. It seems to be fitting a lot more of their style. And Who Are You has actually... oh, Lemon Day. Lemon and Vicky? They've actually been having a really good performance, though. Who Are You's been really good when he's come in to play the Genji, which is surprising. He's collected a ring, and he has never played, really, for the Dragons, so it's awesome to see him get some playtime, and when he has been called up, he has been performing well. So I don't know if we'll see more of it. This match is so frustrating. Oh, yeah. You know, we have ways to get around the frustration, though, so we'll be fine. So the Guangzhou Charge, we have Unique, Choice of One. Wait, what? Why did they put them in this order? We got Choice of One, Develop, Krong, Farway, and Unique. On this team, Farway and Choice One looked really good in their most recent match that we watched against Philly, even though they got blown out. And Develop has had his moments. I'm happy to see Krong. We have not seen too much Krong over the last little bit. He was super hyped up in 2020. Many claimed that he was their Rookie of the Year. But we didn't see much of him in 2021. He didn't show up to that level with all the failures that the Guangzhou Charge happened in 2021. So hopefully we can see him in, and it's a different look for the Charge.
Moon considered good enough to scout and pick up and kind of hold in reserve, even with both Lip and Fleta on the team as adept hit scan players.
I don't like the way you said good enough. If anyone, if a team...
You know what? In a few of these games, that's what I like to hear. All right, let's move it on. So we're going to start on Ilios.
Yeah, we do know that Ruins especially, Deepay, we talked to him before, and he considered this a bit of a trap for a Widow.
That's a unique ordering of the players. Boo!
Towards Widows, but also... it actually has a couple of sight lines where you can really...
Alright, so the Shanghai Dragons... alright, well, let's wait until they switch, because I don't think Fleta's going to play Mei on Ruins.
Waiting for those early picks with your own affirmative engagements.
Why do some teams have no cams? The Shanghai Dragons, actually, let's pause and talk about this. Shanghai Dragons team manager has come out due to the issues. I believe Shanghai Dragons are actually in Shanghai right now, and that's where their base of operations is for the team. If you know anything about COVID in China right now, Shanghai is on a hard lockdown. I believe Shanghai Dragons is feeling the effects of that with some of their internets. The way that they said it is that they don't have enough internet bandwidth to also run 6-player cams when they are also in official matches, to just reduce the amount of lag that is coming in through their internet servers, because they just don't have good internet right now because of that situation. So,
able to show off their off-tank prowess. I really think that in 2020, when Guangzhou are at their best, Krong in his off-tank on the Sigma in particular...
Alright, so we saw this actually last time. I want to know why they're going to play Fleta on Genji here, because Who Are You looks really good on the Genji from the moments that we have seen from it. And he did it on New Queen Street in their match against the Valiant. And, oh no, he did it on Colosseo, where Fleta was in to play the Genji. If you're going to play Genji, just play Who Are You. Maybe they're planning on switching it on a different round, but we'll see. Both teams are going to play the Xayah... Charge is going to play the Xayah, Genji, Brig, and a Widow, which is kind of like a defensive style. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Shanghai Dragons are going to play the more conventional style with the Reaper Genji. I would be curious to know how many maps we played without a single soldier being on it, because soldier is very strong right now. Uncle Goose, thank you for the 4 months.
Automatic Reaper like you would see in North America. It's either with Choice of One's Genji or is Echo and
Sure, but more of the story, Shanghai has to go. They have the Lucio, they have the Reaper against the Widow. Develop needs to get out of here. He is just not in a good spot. Good bubble onto the Widow. Oh, nice punish on the flatter.
And that's a first pick for the charge of 5-on-4. Is now getting headshots.
Yeah, I don't know if I love the Genji with the Xayah Reaper. Because I feel like the Genji's just going to get isolated a lot. Like, Void can't die. No one's there to go in with Fleta. I'd rather see Fleta just play the Soldier or the Widow himself. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind some Fleta Widow here.
Get all 5 back and then try and find their way to develop again, or potentially overrun someone like Krong instead, who's got less peeling power behind him with a lesser DPS of the Widow.
Oh, Lee J gone. Did he just feed? He's alive though. Holy crap. Oh. Hey, develop. Oh! You guys remember when I was buying develop stonks heading into this season? I'm cashing them in, chat. I'm cashing them in. Oh! Oh my god.
I'm kind of getting Fisher vibes from season 1. You dropped me, you traded me away. Do you regret it? I'll make you regret it one way or another. Shanghai Dragons torn apart.
He's no Jimmy.
Former rookie. And now their rival.
Develop. I think it's time to disengage a little bit. He's actually doing so much damage right now. Dude, Lip just feed? Dude, develop?
So Shanghai are back to square one for a while, and this is even more time, even more charge.
I can expect the Shanghai Dragons to have a really hard time closing the gap between
Lee J gone. Lee J feeds.
Has to either find a way to TP without and going unnoticed because there is that loud sound line that happens. And then Fleta, is he going to invest a dash? How can he get through without using deflect? You want to keep that.
Lee J gone.
As Develop has been able to waste a lot of Shanghai Dragons' time just continuously picking.
Oh, change game. Thank you.
Right below him.
Oh no, I did change it.
About that. Now Fleta has appeared, climbs up. Both teams receiving bubbles.
Yeah, Shanghai just has no answer to develop. Like they literally no one can deal with it other than Fleta.
And it automatically creates this 5-on-4 where Charger can.
Yeah, I don't know about this comp. Because they can't go in.
Banana not even expended by Star from far away. It was just to beat out cooldowns, Lemon, and now it's in the back pocket for Krong if it's needed.
Void grab.
At any time, and Void can't even touch. 100-0 against.
What was that?
The team that many
Did Shanghai get a kill? I don't think Shanghai got a kill on that round. Yeah, Shanghai did not get a kill.
Now against a team that many considered far weaker. This is a disastrous opening.
I've never seen that's had to have never happened to Shanghai Dragons before. That was not close.
Even Shanghai Dragons going to game 5, was it versus the Spark? I'd have to.
Yeah, they just gotta play some Widow or something.
Yeah, so they went into game 5 against Spark, which they did win, but no one expected a team like the Spark.
Like their comp just doesn't make sense. They want to go in with the Reaper Xayah, but then like the Genji has to be the one to deal with the Widow, and that just doesn't work if the team plays anywhere near well.
Did any of us
as you saw.
From the charge right off the bat. I mean, Develop is just lasering kids today.
Another interesting.
All right, good looks by the Guangzhou charge so far. Oh god, now they're gonna play Echo Mercy. Oh my god. Okay, we're all gonna play Echo Ash Mercy. They do love. APAC does love this composition. It definitely seems like a scrim meta kind of thing. Great bubble by Krong onto. Well, good bubbles are by both sides, honestly. Yeah, you can tell, like, literally their entire team's met up here. This is definitely a scrim meta thing.
So investing a lot of eggs in that basket, and of course they're gonna give those bubbles over.
Oh.
Develop got dangerously low. Choice and one picked off by Lip. I love this coast side approach from Dragons, and it's really safe now that there's really not someone that can boop you off of it like a Lucio can. The point is unlocked. Both teams still contesting it. You see Krong leaving, using bubbles to keep.
First kill for Shanghai. Ooh, there we go. All right, it's a good play by Shanghai.
Will get flanked by Fleta.
Oh, that's an MV.
Unique, why are you rezzing far away? Why did he just res far away? Is far away dead? Oh, he's fine.
That's not needed anymore. It's just all cruelty at the moment from the ex-MVP. And now this is a little bit of a better showing from the Shanghai Dragons, getting their first percentage of.
This is the Shy fucked us up on Ash and Scrims. It must be Metacom.
They are far behind when it comes to the ult charge. They are getting very thoroughly suppressed when it comes to these sightlines.
I like that unique.
Oh, Lip it. Good thing Lip knows how to pound.
Between Lip and
Nice,
Fleta.
nice play.
It takes a good Mercy player to make those decisions of who has what cooldowns available. You're gonna want a blue beam, you know, the dynamites that come in from Lip or the sticky bombs from Fleta, and Fleta has already.
See, like, the thing for me about this is, like, surely if you just played, like, a... Maybe you just die. Like, if you just played, like, a Tracer Soldier Monkey, like, a really good Tracer Monkey with, like, a Lucio Ana, could you just dive it? Like, play, like, the Shock or the Gladiators comp? Would that work? Like, the Soldier could just, like, flank a lot, apply pressure. The Winston could go back and forth. Once you get the Nano, you can get in the Ash's face.
By the Guangzhou charge, it's so hard to even get any real progress onto this point at the moment. Continuously trying to contest this high ground is so dangerous, and now, almost with 5 ultimates, are the Shanghai Dragons. This could easily be 100-0 if they're rationed out correctly, and they continue to control.
Yeah, Shanghai has so many ults.
Continuously harried and harassed.
Oh, Faraway dead.
Faraway has been picked, and Fleta was a bit quiet in that round 1, not having as good of a time on the Genji. I think just going after develop and how many bubbles Krong gave to him was difficult, but man, is he shining bright on the Echo. Copies Azaria, gets grabbed by Krong.
Yeah.
To occupy him a little bit more, but
That grab's not good.
Building up to a grab of his own, and honestly doesn't even need it. Went from a 100.
A charge not gonna get a kill. There's... We fucking threw that...
By the Dragons, a few more percentage away.
Oh, they got one! Woo! Let's go, Develop.
Develop has gotten to 2-piece after using his bomb near the objective.
That was close to a reverse no-kill round.
Close the door on this round.
Krong's moved in on the Doom.
Get him, Krong! Oh, that was actually some really nice right clicks. Oh, sorry, right, left clicks.
A little bit too little and too late here, Lemon. Krong is low on health. They do now have an Ana at their
Big cap.
It's going to be a flip towards the end. Shanghai Dragons might kick themselves a little bit.
Oh, okay, Krong's dead.
This one, but at least it means they can have a well-considered 4-player return to attack.
Oh, nice sleep.
Time will once again be soon to be triggered.
That was an insane stall from Krong. About 10 seconds, but also due to Faraway.
Oh!
Nano.
Did he get the Ash with that? Oh my god, that was so close.
For Doomfist, and all he had to do was stand at the choke, but reinforcements were able to come from.
Alright, this is devolving very quickly. Oh, later, nerd.
Void has found himself in the well. Dragons hoping to finish this off quickly. They got to deal with this Doomfist. Lip gets the chase down, Fleta by his side, and now it's about flipping the point. Really, who is left from the
Touch the point. Oh, I really think Unique should have touched that.
Choice here one stops over to the Genji for the additional speed and potentially the snowball potential of kill after kill, giving those reset. Wrapping around the back has been spotted by Fleta, and that means that this approach is going to be far from stealthy.
Oh.
Empty down to 40 HP, running low on options are the Guangzhou charge.
Good movement from Choice One just to preserve his life, especially during that bio.
Oh!
As Fleta gets punched off the map.
Krong?
Wasn't available.
What is happening?
They've dealt with Krong though. Numbers looking equal. Izayaki, Nano to Void.
Alright, Void should... Nano Void, it should be open up.
Grab can throw it at the choke, and Charge are just going towards the point, but they're getting stuffed. They're not able to.
Dude, Lip farmed on the Ash in that round.
Dragons force around 3.
Bit of a late renaissance there from a Guangzhou charge.
We're in the Chengdu zone. Yeah, that devolved very quickly. Everyone just started picking new heroes and running around.
And I think that Shanghai Dragons had got more eliminations on Shanghai Dragons.
It's a good stall by Guangzhou. You got to give him something. Give him a little bit of credit.
Overtime stall was admirable, and we saw that Krong does have a Doomfist in the kit, and it's by no means inept.
No. No.
You can't really do much.
No.
When power blocking as a Doomfist, your mobility becomes heavily limited.
Bad Void. Bad Krong.
Freebie for Viana during that cooldown being channeled.
Don't do it. I know you're thinking that you're going to do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The validity of D.Va in both regions, from both Avril and from the color casters we have over in NA, like myself occasionally. And
so both teams are going to play D.Va for whatever reason. This also might be the first time in any Overwatch League 2022 match where neither team played Soldier for an entire map. For an entire map. Soldier is the most overpowered hero in the game, and just no one is playing it. I don't understand why APAC hates Soldier so much and they love Ashe.
Winston or Vazaria in these cases, but knowing the prevalence of Ashe over an APAC, it could be a little bit more valuable to try.
I guess they just want to play the same comp. Oh my god. I feel like they just want to play the Echo Mercy on the high ground. Okay, Develop is also in Narnia.
He's brought this on Lighthouse specifically against the Valiant, which by the way they lost. Sorry kids for disappointing you. And also on Dorado, but we actually haven't seen this from Void at all this season so far. It's an interesting look. Dragons will come out ahead in this. That Fleta and Choice One are looking a lot more even in this Echo.
Maybe the Diva makes sense in these compositions because no one is really able to pressure the Diva as much, right? What is Diva's role in this comp? I assume it's to pressure the Ashe and the Echo and get in their face. But like, surely a Winston onto the Ana is just way better. Like, if you just played a Winston and just ran at the Ashe or the Ana.
Lip on top of the point. Pretty safe position away from all the action, which has been more in the middle of the map. Now Izayaki has a Nano. Wondering who you want to give this to.
Probably Nano Echo here, right?
I usually give it to the Echo player, but that decision may vary depending on
How does Guangzhou get into this map? Oh, they get Unique again. Yeah, good Nano on the Echo. All right.
Unique is down 2, 5 versus 3 for the Dragons. A massive bio from far away was hoping to get more trades for the charge, but it's a clear fight.
Valiant played Diva on Dorado and won the map. Well, if Valiant made it work, then it must be good.
Develop there. And Develop says, do not test me again, son. Lujagon gives him a second lease on life, and now Fleta can once again be a bit of a menace in the early poke phase. And one of the things we've got to consider with this Ashe and Echo comp lemon is that first fight really is everything unique.
Consistent pressure that Void has, how he's able to generate so much ult charge for both Izayaki.
All girl comp? Yeah, that's totally what the Shanghai Dragons and Guangzhou were like. Let's play all girl characters. That's that. Finally, we worked out why they're playing Diva. Girl power.
Boosters and boot them deeper so that they might be out of the zone of influence of their Ana after that and can't receive additional healing. Fleta goes low and Krong is going to get a tap upon the point.
Dude, like nothing has happened in this round. They're literally just waiting for the Echoes and the Ashes to pop off, and Lip is pounding.
Can't escape the choice they won. He's also got nanoed, but dealing with Lip's Bob has been an issue for the charge. They have to invest the ultimates. It's 99-0. They were hoping to conserve.
Okay. Dude, Lip is actually just pounding. I don't even know how this comp works, but all I know is that Lip is just killing everybody, and it's not even close. Oh, Guangzhou got the cap. That could end up being a big deal if they... Oh, Unique. Oh, nice live. Save Unique. We got an Ashe v Ashe in the background. What is happening? Okay, they lost point. Never mind. Not a big deal. Dude, this is just DM at this point. How is far away on their Mega?
Might be squashed, and Fleta delivers kill after kill.
Okay, Charge won that.
Yeah, both those DPS.
All right, sure, whatever you say. I don't understand how Charge won that. I can't tell. Oh my God, Lee J gone. But Lip gets the kill and develop because Lip is just giga. I would love to see Lip's damage comparison to everyone else so far in this series, in this map.
For a moment, knowing that they still have the pressure here to gain some land and make sure that Guangzhou Charge can't get a great poking phase because they're so afraid of the sightlines that Lip has been able to generate.
There's also some good ults coming up. I wonder.
2021 champs. The champs are here.
And it forces Farway to make the decision of do you want to sleep the Bob, and once that one is out, Shanghai Dragons can engage a lot more.
Choice one gets Izayaki.
Dragons in trouble. Does Lee Jae-gong even have the space to resurrect? The answer is no, he's dead too. Dragons have no supports.
I don't understand this comp. Like this comp. All right, let's find a method to the madness. So this comp, is it just pure damage? Like it's like, is your Ashe a better player? Is your Ashe Echo a better player? Like, is there any team synergy or coordination that happens in this comp, or is it just literally just try and take angles and shoot at people? Like, I genuinely think that it's just about people getting the right angle. Like, it's just whoever shoots better.
On the other side, Krong got into a Baby Diva form and could not pistol themselves a mech back, so it was a quick reset.
Yeah, it's just like a hard pocket on the Echo, and then hope you win the Mercy Echo duel or the Ashe duel, one of the two.
Who is responsible for it? But he's not touching the point, Lemon. There isn't going to be additional pressure there.
But it gets choice of one. They win.
charge and response.
Whoa, no, Unique!
Fleta slaps Unique out of the air. Farway's the only one left to heal from the
All right, so they lose their Echo Mercy combo. There's no way they lose this fight.
Stop Dragons from rotating there.
Right.
Last fight, 99 to 92 and growing for the charge. Fleta
Kron goes in as D.Va and gets got. All right, Farway gets his Iyaki.
ultimates as they storm the point, but the point has already been flipped. The Dragons are in the driver's seat. They've lost his Iyaki, who died with Nano, as Void has to buy time with the self-destruct. And ult after ult. You look at the point, you're left with a 4-on.
Dude, this is actual chaos.
Doing the ultimate 0 to 100 comeback, and Develop just can't be stopped like he was on Widow on Ruins, as he continues to do on Ashe on this map. But the Dragons, they never give up, and they can't. It's the final round of Ilios, but the Charge have only netted themselves kills, and Dragons are left behind and away from the objective. And Choice 1 will end this all, and the Charge will be taking map 1.
And Charge here,
They are off the goop. There is no coordination here. It literally just feels like DM. Like, everyone's just trying to take as many angles as they can and just get picks. Like, literally everyone is just playing for picks, but they have no control. Like, I feel like that loss by the Shanghai Dragons is a prime example of that, of like, you just can't coordinate anything together. So therefore you like live by the pick sword, but you die by the pick sword. They get 2 picks. They kill the Echo Mercy combo, yet they cannot stop Develop from having the angle. He has the bob, throws the bob on the point, and then they just wait for the charge to come back. And Dragons don't get picks fast enough to make anything work. And it's just so hard to spectate in that because it feels like there's no rhyme or reason.
There's a point where you just want to.
All right, we're moving on to Dorado. We got Rio in, Fate in, so it looks like we're going to see some Windstone come back in. Probably see some Winston Tracer,
You want to make
Widow.
the moon feel it. And I think that Develop is definitely throwing that energy out into the match right now, Lemon. Speaking of which, we've had a couple of other swap arounds, of course. Both of our off-tank players have been sent to the bench for a little while so that the Winston gamers can come out to play. And of course, Winston's.
I think the comp works against really traditional metacons for that. I could absolutely see it be incredibly oppressive to like the Winston Tracer Soldier comps and stuff like that. So I think that like the comp, I don't think the comp is bad. I think you should definitely play like a Winston with it. I feel like you get way more value out of a Winston than an Ashe, than a D.Va. Maybe like the D.Va because the D.Va can negate the Ashe Echo comp. I feel like maybe we haven't seen enough of it to make sense. But maybe it's just incredibly oppressive to play the Winston versus the other stuff. Oh, Fleta. I like this look by the Shanghai Dragons. I think the comp makes sense.
He obviously vented for this spot. Now, you know, you wish you had a pulse bomb because, man, their backs are just looking so open.
Whoa.
What? Oh, now you.
No way. Dude, he's just standing there. What is happening?
Oh, yeah, we vote this guy out. Emergency meeting.
And someone
PP, we saw him vet.
So audio issues do happen now and then, Lemon. And Faye actually came in to try and rescue Fleta here, but had his dive knocked back.
Yeah, so Fleta's just gonna drop. He already used recall. It's already a get in, get out situation. Guangzhou charge.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of value we can get from Develop. I actually really like the Widow here on the attack. I feel like it forces so much positioning, and it's going to force Shanghai Dragons to do something, right? Like, Fate has to try and play aggressive to stop the Widow from getting angles.
Head over to market side as Develop takes a more aggro position further forward, hoping to get more shots into Fate, who shows his face. But I'm thinking now that this card has started crossing that underpass, Dragons are going to want to hold
Emergency meeting. Oh, that would have been a nice shot. Oh, that was a nice shot.
Develop, he still hits headshot.
Yeah, and this is the problem with not playing the Widow on defense, is that it puts so much pressure on your Winston Tracer to try and control space, while the offensive Widow can just force the positioning by the defense. Have you hit shots? Didn't you say last week you didn't like the Widow on attack on Dorado? I don't like it if the opposition is playing Widow. I think if the defensive team is playing Widow, I do not like the offensive Widow. I think you're better off diving faster. But if the defensive team is not playing Widow, I like the offensive Widow because I think you can force positioning, if that makes sense.
Tests.
But I think if you try and play the offensive Widow versus the defensive Widow, it's very hard to get valuable angles.
Tracer. Oh, and the whiff on the wall. It's okay. And the blink into the wall. Sometimes you get a little.
Tracer one blade just to clean up the fight. I like it. Develop's kind of pounding as well.
So far, and what a clear fight win from the Charge, who made this quite swift and easy for themselves.
All right, Lemon. I might be counting my dragons before they hatch from their scaled eggs right now, but you got to remember that every single map loss.
If Dragons played Bebe, they'd won 3-0. I don't know about that one. That might be a hot take. Yo, Rough, thank you for the 7 months. As a Philly fan, today is a tragic day. But any day that I get to put my silly little sub message in any little silly little text box is a day that could be much worse. Much love, Custa. Yo, much love, Rough. Thank you for the 7. Great analysis. Tie. No worries.
This would be big for the Charge, who have a really tough schedule ahead of them, and even just making a close series against the Dragons will be good for them, as Fate has already started the dive. He can play aggro. He has the Primal Rage. You see
Rio's jump angles are a little sussy.
Also having the Primal Rage as Fate dives in towards the Widow of Develop.
Oh, that was almost really nice.
Fletta's assistance, while Lip holds, tries to hold anyway the high ground. Rio hasn't been wanting to use the Primal yet, wanting to make sure that the Charge's supports are okay, and they are not okay. Fate is in the backline. He is one. I'm panicking. Lip has visored a wall so far, and Charge, they get to reset.
Unique might.
No, I don't mind that rally. I don't mind that rally. I don't think that rally's a bad play. You got the Winston, you got the Vise. You just hope that no one dies to it, but someone did die.
Beginning of the next fight, Lemon, the presumptive high ground position of a Shanghai Dragons is going to be in serious danger. Choice A1 is, I think, having a little bit of a duel with Lijiang on upon the high ground, but this is all about Rio being able to knock people off.
Oh, Fleta dies for free. Develop looking kind of spicy right now.
I know that shield is 2 by 2 feet, but you gotta stand behind it when you can, and Develop, he finds those angles, even after the Goomba stomp from Rio on the Fleta, which must have been either be able to identify the amount of blinks left, or Fleta just blinked at the wrong time.
He peeked at the last second. That's so sad. Fate's still yet to get his primal off.
Right, full force dive here from Shanghai.
Oh, I don't like that grapple angle. I don't like where he went.
His family dead. They want his favorite color dead, but at the moment, Choice A1 is trying his best to turn it around.
That was not a great nano.
And Fate now has so much HP, but no.
The primal Winston, nowhere to go.
Both teams are counter diving right now, and the Dragons did a good job of stalling out the card, preventing progress.
Oh, nice play by Izzyaki. Oh, that's good. That was. Oh my god, that nade was almost so clutch.
Or you're gonna make that on a very angry Develop, gets stomped on by Fate, and the Dragons were up against.
Alright, Dragons are holding, not bad.
Ultimate investment has turned their odds around, and they have been able to hold.
Oh, another pause. Cool.
Oh man, we're getting surprise pauses left and right.
In terms of a few more sticking near the.
Leg Day looks like he's from Miami and he's about to sell me drugs on the beach. You know what I mean? Those are the vibes I'm getting, you know? It feels like spring break and he's about to hook me up. I thought he was British. Oh yeah, no, it says nothing about who he is. I'm just looking at it. Demonetize. I'm buying. Oh yeah, I would buy. Absolutely. He looks like he sells the good shit, you know?
From Choice A1, it was super quite a 1 minute aggressive thus far, especially in this series against his former team. However, 1 minute and 15.
The Giga Chat entity coming from Leg Day. I respect it.
For the Guangzhou Charge. So
he's an anime villain. I see it.
A well-placed stick from Flatter. We've seen plenty today from the Prophets, from the Tracers.
I think you'd be a Tracer Prophet.
He looks like a Thule. It's funny that you say he looks like a Thule because essentially that's what I said. Like Thule is very similar to like you're from Florida, spring break, trying to sell you drugs.
So with that pick, I mean the Dragons want to see if they could grab some more.
That's so seen enough.
Kind of hanging around. Maybe taking damage on purpose to get far.
All right, let's see if Guangzhou can close out this second point.
Has been a big, an important win con for the Charge.
Surely there's no world where you nano develop. No matter how impressive he's been. I think Flet's actually hanging it on the left here. You can just about see the silhouette. And this means that moving forward for develop here could be difficult. A Primal Rage just popped from Fate. That's interestingly early.
Oh, 18 seconds.
Very early primal from Fate. But I guess he gets the rally out.
Has gotten none, but at least the Dragons own the high ground, and Lip is going to try and use that for an angle advantage as Develop sees Izayaki lands on a body shot, but not enough to deliver as
This is a good hold by Shanghai.
Dragons with 2 picks and support.
Shanghai looked really good on this defense. Like, this is the problem with playing the Widow, is it feels like, and also the Genji, it feels like they have no offensive power. It doesn't feel like they can stop anyone from taking any space. Shanghai is just controlling the space, getting really clean dives, and just reacting effectively.
Shanghai controls the tempo of that.
What is the Florida of Australia? Florida of Australia is the Gold Coast.
Point of Dorado, which allows clear develop
out. Kind of a bit of an edge to the Guangzhou charge in terms of how they were able to protect develop. Now, when it comes to the dive, Dragons.
Surely they don't throw an attack. There's no way.
Now, when it comes to dive, I know.
All right, so we're gonna get Widow v Widow. And hey, what did I just say? I don't like attack Widow versus defense Widow because the defensive Widow always has the advantage. It feels like.
Shield up, making sure Izayaki's forehead isn't glistening in the eyes of develop. Now the Dragons have already started climbing up to the top right. That's where
don't play offensive Widow.
Especially to help Lip get an edge on develop.
You have to put a lot of trust and faith into your offensive Widow, I think, here.
Yeah, those pings super important to allow Lip to look for develop, and you can see
Your Widow plays offensive. I can't argue with that. My Widow play makes me want to gouge my own eyes out.
Introduction on those shots knows exactly how much they can take from develop.
Rio, how much can you take from this?
Oh, Rio's so aggressive. Why is he there?
That's not your honor.
That's not my brig.
Who is this? Who are you?
You're not my mum.
Well, the Dragons get a free kill on the Rio. Gave him a big old bear hug, or gorilla hug, I guess. As Dragons now want to take as much space as possible. Fate already laying down the barrier.
Most exciting or most boring? Yeah. I feel like in this meta, they're very boring because I feel like neither one of them have... They're all playing so safe so that they don't get dove and so that they don't see the other Widow. Oh, Fate just got launched. He had to primal for that, yeah. Oh! Develop was not ready for Fate to be there. Oh, wow. They almost saved him as well. They almost saved Develop. Oh, good primal. Wow, that was really well played by Fate. Oh, he missed a slash. Oh, that was almost super sick. Oh, Lip. Stop it. See, offensive Widow works if you just are Lip. If Choice of One had got that slash on the brig and hadn't missed that slash on the brig, he probably would have killed both one of the Ana or Elder Widow. Fate's so good. That was really good Winston play. We are very critical of Fate Winston play as of late, but that was really nice. Like, the ability to get the Widow and then get the brig, or at least almost kill the brig, for so many resources and open so much up.
And Choice One is certainly feeling the pressure against Viasana, continually shut down in their most critical moments.
Oh, as soon as Fate drops from the high ground, Rio counter engages. He's actually over in the mini pack. He's gonna go contest Lee Jae-gong, put some pressure on him. The sports start to back away, and even if they're not dead, just
has any team found a counter to Xayah Reaper? No one has played the Xayah Reaper anywhere near as good as the Dallas Fuel. So we don't know. The answer is no one's been able to beat Dallas Fuel Xayah Reaper.
And now Fate has started to dive those supports, laying a bubble in Izayaki's line of sight. But it's really not a lot of kills coming through. It could be up to these Widows. And what a smart position from far away, knowing Lip could be jumping up and getting a headshot, as Rio hasn't been doing much.
But we've only seen average teams play it. Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of average teams. Like, we just watched the APAC region play some Xayah Reaper, and it wasn't very good. There's been some average Western teams that have played it. You know, everyone's starting to cop in Dallas Fuel in true fashion. Ooh! Forces the drop. A Nano on the Lip? Is he almost dead? Is that why you got nanoed?
Some value if you squint hard enough.
The car's still moving though, Lemon, and that is going.
Why did they nano Lip? This had to have been a mistake. That had to have supposed to have been on. Can you imagine if that was on Fate? He was just zapping the backline. Oh wow, he almost got power.
Unconventional, but at least give some survivability.
I'd nano Lip too.
Yeah, the very few times you can justify nanoing the Widow is, you know, pulse bomb comes their way or a lot of hits.
Oh, Unique just doesn't give a fuck.
But there ain't no saving you against a humongous gorilla in your face. The charge now have started.
Oh, Fate says, oh, that's not good, Fate.
Well, that's going to be a headshot. And Fate still lives. Bionic grenade. Okay, well, he's about to die. As a charge, a lot of soft dives, a lot of harassing the Dragons, who have now lost 2 members.
How did Dragons not win this? This is a hard point to cap, like, especially if you don't think they just used their Primal Rally and Nano, and they literally used all of their ults in that fight, and they didn't win. That is probably the fight of why they lost. They're not going to get another good fight for another 90 seconds, right? So then they only really have one really good fight left in them. Obviously, you can hope for Widow Brilliance, but I also think both teams are committing to the Widow way too hard. I think if Lip just went Soldier and then just started running around the map, I think he would offer more than the Widow. As much as the Widow is a threat and it's annoying, if he doesn't get any big valuable picks, then all of a sudden, he's just not really offering much to the team. So there's a Nano Blade. So that was a pretty good by Guangzhou. They wait 30 seconds, wait for them to start taking space, and then hit the Nano Blade.
Into the back room, into the shadows. Choice1's on the hunt. Where's his prey? Man, Izayaki is the best hide-and-seek player I've ever seen. And Lip, well, he's been discovered. And the Dragons are going to chill out for a second.
I hear Grandma Feetsy's around here somewhere, padding away. Choice1 has to allow for Izayaki to escape, and then would simply dash away from a Fate dive. Space gain.
Flutter in the background, yeah. The bottom right.
Wait. We got Flutter in the back moving
Dun 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 dun.
to develop. This could be the
Bump. Oh, he's on the low ground. I thought he was on the high ground. That is way less impressive. He's on the low ground.
Knowing that, hey, this could
Guangzhou's going aggressive.
by the Guangzhou charge in the midst of a wild ride.
Pretty wild ride, so wild I might fall asleep. No teams are really getting a ton of kills. You got a back half from Fleta. Charge almost asleep, letting that one go through. The box of victory in the sights of the Dragons, hoping to tie up this series. As Fleta's been a threat, and he will continue to be. He's got a pulse bomb. Wants to give this.
Oh! Oh my god. If they can keep Unique, Unique's doing a good job of staying alive. And then, like, Farway's got it into such a good position. Wow, Choice1. That was really well played. Alright, so here comes that fight that I was talking about, right? So it happened way later because of how well Guangzhou, like, delayed these fights. But this is the fight, right? Dragons have 4 ultimates. This is going to be the moment. Unfortunately, Guangzhou has got up to their own ultimates. They're going to get their own... They're actually going to have a Nano Blade for this final fight, probably. And Unique might get to a rally.
With those pulse pistols, and now with only 10 seconds remaining, there's plenty of ultimates to make this work, but almost a Nano Blade from Choice1 who popped off in the last game as well. Fate's so low, not forced to pop the primal, and that could...
They got walls. Choice1's going into the air.
From Choice1.
They needed to hit that sleep, didn't get it, got slept.
The supports are cut down, and the charge! I can't believe this! A video...
That was an interesting tech you see by Choice1, by the way. Choice1 is swinging and then doing a 180 instantly in the expectation that Fleta's going to try and blink behind him when he throws the slash, okay? Right? So he slashes, expects him to blink behind him, miss. Slashes, expects him to go behind him, misses. So Fleta just did nothing because he understands the range, but that is the idea of why Choice1 is doing those 180s. Outplays himself, literally.
Never underestimate what Fate can do, especially with Fleta by his side. The dash cuts through the tracer, and Fate is left to stall. Izayaki will be back with Nano, but he's just barely in line of sight of Fate. And it unleashes, but it's too late.
And the Guangzhou charge.
Go to series point.
Oh, the Nano boost for map 3 is at Lemon. Guangzhou charge 2-0 up. And a little bit of a grin.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting a Guangzhou 2-0 up. Alright, over to Midtown. Up 2-0, no, up 2, no way they lose this. No.
The win con was there for the Dragons, but what it really came down to was the point.
BP's happiness peaked at this moment, and only to have it taken away.
Had some good plays on point B, and a waste.
There's no chance they lose this. There's no chance. During the 10-minute break, Leg Day subtly mentioned you being too big Bane while talking about Moon's less stellar coaching decisions.
We're not sure.
I appreciate you, Leg Day.
But it wasn't enough for the Dragons to net a win on Dorado as we go to Midtown to see will the Dragons...
a lot faster. Just being able to dive in directly with the Winston instead of having the...
Who Are You is in. All right, so what do we got? Who Are You is in to play the Genji, so they're going to play the Winston Genji. I think this is a good look with the Soldier. It's not a bad look. And then we got Guangzhou Charge playing the Echo Soldier Zarya. I don't really like the Echo Soldier Zarya. I feel like the problem that I have with the Echo Zarya Soldier is I don't think anyone applies pressure, right? Like, they're going to have a crossfire, but if Shanghai Dragons just execute a good dive, someone's going to die, right? Like, they're not, like, look at how much space the Shanghai Dragons have already gotten because of how little pressure they can provide. They've literally given up the entire back mega for free. Like, and we compare that, like, we just watched a game, who was it? Seoul Dynasty, like, hard cut off the Philadelphia Fusion by, like, holding aggressively and holding pressure, and the Fusion couldn't do anything. And, like, this is another big mistake by the Charge of, like, it feels like they're just leaving the door open for them. Izayaki kills Choice One? Yeah, I don't like the Echo. I would much rather see a Tracer. Even a Reaper, if you're going to play the Zarya.
I'm starting to worry about the objective. I mean, the Dragons could get a second free take.
So they did rush down the point. All right, we're going to see Tracer from Choice One.
What's currently happening? I mean, Who Are You is so free. And
Interesting play by Choice One, though. If they're going to play an Echo, they need a frontliner. Well, you need, if you're playing Echo, you need someone to go in before you, right? Because Echo does a great job of going in and executing people, but you can't just go in alone, especially without a Mercy, because you just get, like, you don't win the 1v1 unless you hit a crazy amount of sticky bombs, right? Yeah, this was a very strange defense by the Guangzhou Charge. And now they're going to switch to the Ashe. I don't like the Ashe Zarya. Like, unless they're going to go the Ashe Echo Mercy with the Zarya, I don't like what they're doing. It's the classic case of they're not picking a direction. They're not holding defensively and making it oppressive with damage, and they're also not going in. So they're doing neither, and they're going to get caught between two strategies. And what happens is Shanghai is just going to get the world's freest dives. They're going to take the space because Develop doesn't do enough damage to slow them down, and Krong applies no offensive pressure. And then they're just going to get walked at. Like, this Nano is going to be the world's freest Nano. They just Nano Fate into the... Oh, actually, they can just wait for the Nano Visor. Honestly, they can just chill and wait for the Nano Visor. Why is Unique here? Like, how is Unique here on this defense? What is happening? How is this fight devolved? We were looking at Choice One, and all of a sudden...
Let's have a quick talk about the overall trend of increasingly nanoing.
I feel like too many people right now are playing Zarya without playing to the Zarya strengths. They're playing Zarya for the sake of playing Zarya.
Teams in terms of the overall understanding of the game, like Shanghai and San Francisco Shock, have really
Why did the Nano Who Are You? A lot of teams have been doing this, and I can't really even complain about the Nano on the Genji, because if you have a really good Genji, we've seen them, like, Genji, if you get the dash reset, because all of a sudden now your dash does 75 damage. Is it 75? How much damage increases Nano? Does a lot more damage. And then you do that with the right clicks, all of a sudden you can execute people a lot more. If you have faith in your Genji, which they obviously do in Who Are You, it allows you to... It's like, yeah, it's 50% more damage, so it would be 75. So, like, think about that. That's $75 damage dash. If you nano your Winston, it gives you more execution potential over the Winston. A nano Winston can be healed through by a Brig with packs with Inspire aligned up, especially if the Ana hits a nade. Oh, wow, Fate just got murked. I think you take that. If you're the Charge, I think you just, the Dragons, you just disengage from that. You take the rally grab. Those are two big ultimates. Take that fight loss, you just come back with Nano. Nano Blade, Nano Visor. They have so many ults to use.
And Develop, being on the Ashe here, is finally getting to interface with the... Oh, that's a huge stick. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That's over. GG go next. Big play by Choice One.
That's the fight. I mean, a couple seconds later, that's all the Charge can do, and that's the most valuable pulse bomb we have seen. And if you can cycle that with the Nano and the Bob coming up, but it's about how are the Dragons going to respond, and mainly, which ult Lijigon wants to counter with the barrier.
Nano Visor, good to go, and there isn't really a defensive ult to deal with this, nor a grab to try and keep Who Are You in place. So this one might be a de facto wipe unless Farway can somehow get a heroic tier sleep and shut down Who Are You. But also there's the option to use the Visor and...
Alright, Nano Blade goes in with Fate. Wow, that was really unfortunate. He didn't get the deflect on that nade. That was a really good nade by Farway there. Guess the Nano, honestly, Guangzhou did a really good job of deflecting this. I think it's, ooh, okay, I like the beat to keep him in the fight. And yeah, here's what you do. Lip, you pull in the fight and then you pop the visor. Yeah, that was really well played by Lip. They have the beat, they have the control of the point, and you know that they're gonna have to come to the point because it's about to hit the checkpoint. Pop the visor, anyone who comes dies. Clean play, clean. That was really well played with Dragons. Yes, they used a lot of ultimates to close out the fight, but they needed them. Like, they didn't get value from the Nano Blade like they needed to, so therefore they needed to drop the beat, and then late they needed to drop the visor. Like, it's obviously not ideal as a team, but at some point you gotta be willing to just throw ults to close out a fight.
Ult charge themselves, but this does mean that Krong's gonna have the first ultimate available of anyone here in this first fight per se, and it could be incredibly important to try and gain control of these forward high grounds.
Honestly, the Ashe Zarya I have not hated it as much as I thought I would.
See, Dragons have the high.
Did Diva?
They're able to lay down
Trying to remember.
suppressing fire. See if they can get any picks at all. But Guangzhou is fine. I mean, they can generate. It's both teams trying to generate ults. It's really Krong is ready to pull the trigger on the grab, as you mentioned, once the dive actually starts. I mean, the defense don't have to move. The weight is on the shoulders of the Dragons. Fade is already in the back line.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what I was. Oh, the Nano on the Lip to keep him alive. That was actually such a sick play. This is exactly what I talk about with this composition, by the way, right? So Guangzhou, like, Dragons have no ultimates, but they have so much damage with the soldier and like the zippity zap that they're just pushing the cart. At some point, Fate dives. They don't have enough damage to punish Fate, who's jumping into their backline completely alone. Fate jumps in completely alone. They don't have enough damage to get through him and his primal. And then what happens is Krong just gets stuck at the front line here, right? He doesn't have energy. He doesn't have charge. He has no one to bubble. No one's going in with him. So he's just kind of like trying to hold the fort on his own. He's like, he like doesn't really know what to do, and he just dies. And he has to heat the grab. And then even when he drops the grab, they're still dealing with Fate. So like, it just feels like they're caught between two worlds of how they're playing the game. And so they can't play fast, and they also can't play slow against what the Shanghai Dragons are doing. Like, if they wanted to play the Echo, like the Echo Mercy, I think that would make more sense than what they're doing with their composition. Just commit to the defensive damage composition. Oh look, they have to put so many resources into Krong to just keep him alive. It's kind of interesting. The Dragons just look way more coordinated with who are you and Fleta. I just don't think Fleta's good at Genji. Just straight up, I just don't think Fleta's good at Genji. And who I use performing so well, I don't think there's any reason for them to play. Like, it feels like they want to play. It feels like when Void's in, they want to play Fleta, and when Fate's in, they want to play Who Are You. And I just don't think it makes sense. Like, I guess it makes sense with how they're doing, but that Fleta just should not play Genji if they're gonna play that. If they're gonna play Void Fleta, just don't play Genji. Don't play a dive style, and just lean into the strength of their Ashe Echo copy, you know, shit. But I only play Genji for one round. Yeah, well, he only like, you know what we mean. You know what I mean by that, right? Like, that was he only really played on Ilios. And then he played Tracer, right? Like, he played the Tracer. They played the Tracer Winston on Dorado, and it was good, right? Like, they were good. The only thing they fucked up was their offense. But as underwhelming as Sparkle, yeah, and that's the same thing of Sparkle. If we hold Fleta to such a high pedigree, and I just don't think he's lived up to that right now. Lip has been the big dominant force that we know he is, but
sure, Fate can hold for line, but how much does he even want to? Over 3 minutes Shanghai Dragons had coming into this third point, Lemon. But
how many Season 1 players are still in the league? I'm pretty sure someone came in and said they had the statistics. It was 18.
So close and so powerful.
And they said only 18 players remain from the inaugural season.
Generation of the nanos on this third point have been absolutely revelatory. Unbelievable generation.
People forget that Fleta had an even longer ACAM blade. I think people still think that Fleta has a good Genji, and I just don't think it's true anymore. I don't think Fleta has a good Genji. He has not shown a good Genji in a long time. Even in 2020, when Shanghai Dragons were good, and that was the worst time for the Shanghai Dragons, when they had to play Fleta on Genji. And it was one of the main reasons that they signed Who Are You, right? Fate is just so disruptive right now.
remaining, but the job is done. Who are you is just there to finish it. The 3K. Who are you? I know very damn well the Dragons will cap.
Whew. That was a good play. That was good. And they finished with a second as well, which is a big deal. But honestly, finishing Midtown is like a big deal. If you finish Midtown, you're generally not going to lose the map. Have we seen an overtime situation in Midtown before in the season so far? I want to say no, but I could be misremembering one.
But the charge now, whipping out with some Ash and Genji.
What we've come to expect from Develop. Is Ash any good? We asked Develop. She is if you hit shots, they said.
So once again, we got the Genji, Ash, Xayah. I just don't like this composition. Like, I really don't like this Xayah, Ash, Genji stuff.
People begin to move up through that stairwell, the cleave that's available to
It goes back to the same thing. If they're going to play, if they really want to play the Ash, I'd rather see them play the Echo Mercy with it as well. I don't love the Ash Echo Mercy, I don't think, especially on certain maps. Like, I think it makes sense on, like, the Ilios ones, where if you can get set up, it's hard. It's just might be too much damage. But it feels like they're half-assing it. While I really like the Shanghai's comp, as much as I think it's usually better with a Tracer, if you have a god tier Genji like Who Are You, I think you can make it work. Especially if the opposition team is not playing the Winston. One of the big reasons we saw Genji fall out of the meta in North America is that everyone started playing Winston. And Winston is really good against Genji, because everything that Winston does is good against Genji. But if they're going to play Xayah, Genji, Ash, I think the Genji gets a lot of value. Yeah, I'm down to play a bit of Apex after this, Jack.
But a shield bash, a sleep, and now a coach gun from an Ash is something a Fate has to worry about, and gets a little too close to the sun. Fate is gone, and Charge might want to start moving towards the point.
No hit from a Dynamite there. That's going to give a new lease of life to Who Are You, who can play quite...
As much as I miss the Sideshow and Brent, I think most of the casts have been great this season. I think it's been really awesome to see the new tier 2 talent come through into the league. I think they've all been popping off. I really like all of our DPS duos. I really like all of our casting duos this season. I think they've all been popping off. I think they all have their own little flavor, their own little flair that they bring to the league. I miss Brent and Josh as much as everyone. I love those guys. They're so good at what they do. But they're popping off in Valorant, and I'm happy for them in that way as well. So everyone's good. Everyone's happy. And we should be excited about the future.
Unique is the only one to salvage this attack, and there's no shot you can, especially without Develop. And the Dragons has salvaged this point.
Missing Jaws too? Nah, that guy sucks.
Movement there from Fate. Having received for Nano, decides, you know what, my team have got this.
Nah, it's awesome to see Jack back on play-by-play.
To go and get rid of this free casting Ana, because Farway is a real problem. Choice A1 now has the blade. There is a narrow window here, Lemon, where Lee Jae-gon cannot answer this with the sound barrier. However, Lip can be a very powerful warding force against this by using the visor in a more defensive manner to keep Choice A1 at bay.
Hopefully Brent and Josh can do a LAN event. Yeah, and like they have the freedom to come back and do certain Overwatch events if they need to, right? Like, I would not be surprised if you see, like, we'll see them from time to time, I'm sure.
At least with his bubbles, he gives them over, but he's not able to generate a ton of charge. But he'll throw the grab anyway, as Fate just kind of staring at the supports. Guangzhou are full of...
Dude, what is... Okay, I feel like I blacked out and missed the last 2 minutes of what's happening. Guangzhou has just done nothing. They haven't used an ult yet. I guess they nanoed someone in just before. This Chargecom has such a hard time taking space. Yeah, like, who takes space for your team? Like, who is the person who's going to take any space? No one can. They can't go in fast. They can't go take space fast. They don't have enough damage to push Fate away. Like, this is the ultimate problem. If they had enough damage that they could, like, when Fate tried to do this shit where he dropped a bubble, zip zaps them a little bit, and they had, like, the Echo Mercy and the Ash, this bubble wouldn't exist and Fate would get punished. But they're not doing either of those things. So it feels like they're consistently stuck in this, like, mid-ground, are not able to go in, but also not able to do enough damage to punish people who go aggressive. And they pull the nano blade, or they... Yeah, they... Oh, no, that was just a blade, and he just dies for it, right? Farway's trying to carry. Alright, sweet. Looks like they're going to get away. They press the Q button. They did a great job of punishing Who Are You. I don't know... Izayaki didn't have the nano for the blade or the visor, which was the big problem for the Dragons. Their visor got shut down by Choice of One's blade, and the blade got shut down by Farway. So it's like, yeah, honestly, that's just great play by the backline of the Guangzhou charge. I really like the grab by Krong onto, I believe it was Lip as well. So if they had this nano, yeah, I think Shanghai would have been good, but they didn't have it. Bob Tor 74, thank you for the prime sub.
using
Stag, thank you for the 9 months as well. This is the moment I woke up to. Oh boy.
to trade with Choice A1 during the visor when he got grabbed and when Choice A1 was using the blade should have been a huge win. But who are you?
Charge playing a weird comp. Weird champ. Who's been the best Lucio this season? Chat, that's an interesting question. I'm going to extend it. Do you want to say just Lucio? Who do you think has been the best Lucio of the season? I have my pick in my head, but I kind of want to see what you guys say.
Wobble wobble, motherfucker.
One second, I need to refill my my lemonade. Gangnam Jin. Lastro, I'm not biased at all. I'm actually gonna go with Funny Astro as well. I think Funny Astro, in my opinion, has been the best Lucio. I think he's had the most impact. I like his aggressive style. I think he's been doing a great plays. I think I've liked OG as well. From what we've seen, he's had some up and down. Violet's been solid, but I think I've noticed the most impact from Funny Astro, and that's all we can do. So Chorong's good as well. I think Chorong's been having a good time. I just think Toronto Defiance been going through it lately. Vindname has been impressing me as well, Tuffy Fluffy, but maybe I haven't seen enough from him. So, you know, NA bias.
It's not overly fast. Only 3 minutes are on the clock, and Lip can settle in for a long hold on the high ground with Izzyaki, which is going to need to be very, very difficultly removed by Choice A1 because
Yeah, Marsa. Yeah, if we want to talk about players who have underperformed, unfortunately, Marsa has been struggling on the Lucio.
Take these angles. You can already see who are you in Fate in that top right.
Violet progress is crazy. And I don't think anyone ever doubted Violet's ability to pick up Lucio. He just needed to put the time in. It looks like he's put the time in and he's very solid at it. Like, Violet's such a mechanically good player. Like, he's literally MVP caliber, so I don't think anyone doubted his ability to pick it up.
In a hard place, essentially. So
I doubted it? Hey, well, I didn't. I was very critical of Violet Lucio in 2021, but that's just because it was very obvious he had not put time into practicing the core mechanics of Lucio.
who are you? I love this crossfire there from the Shanghai Dragons. They know that Guangzhou are super weak in terms of their ability to attack high ground because Krong does.
Violet, Lastro, and Gangnam Jin, who has looked the best?
The only follow-up
I would say Violet, then Lastro, then Gangnam Jin.
yeah, the only one who
Personally,
can harass is
I think Lastro gets a little too spicy sometimes for his own good.
who are you? I wouldn't want to meet this guy in a dark alley.
I think Violet's been the most solid, and I think Gangnam Jin is a problem for that NYXL team.
It's still early on in the season, but at least Charge are starting to adapt. They're going and trying to dislodge the Dragons from that top right position. It's just Choice One's going to need a little bit more help, and I don't know if that's going to necessitate Krong swapping off.
I kind of like this. I like this Shanghai Dragon setup, right? They got the Winston Genji set up here in this window, so the Charge can't walk forward. If they walk forward without dealing with them, they're just going to get dropped on. But then they also have the crossfire of Lip and Izzyaki, and Izzyaki can heal both those people in the window as well if they need it. So,
Okay, we've got ourselves a blade in the back.
who I use gonna blade? Just get it. Honestly, that's a great blade. Literally, I think blade is so hard to use these times, and they don't have nano. You get one kill, all of a sudden, that's a 20-second stall.
I know he gives maybe one bubble.
Really smart play by Who Are You?
Trying to, Krong's attention is also going to Lip on the
Don't worry, Coach Gesture is gonna make Gangnam Jin into a monster Lucio. Gesture will whip him into shape.
If you force out Fate and who are you?
So, at a certain point in time, Violet had the best Zen, BAP, top tier Brig, and people thought he would be a shit at Lucio. Everyone doubted him coming into the season. Now that he's playing really well, they just bandwagon. I think it's just an anomaly. I think the question was always how good was it gonna be?
You ain't gonna hug that.
Like, I'm not saying Violet's the best Lucio, and I think Violet Lucio could be a problem if they potentially end up in these high tier games, but he's consistently proving that he has what it takes. Oh, Nanoblade.
Brand new truck is Choice One with the blade gets immediately shut down.
Absolutely hard counted.
Obviously, and the Charge ain't going anywhere.
And
fast either.
so,
But guess
let's
who-
look at this.
They're really just not out of the woods yet. As soon as that Bob from Develop's gone, guess who's back? It's Dragons. But guess
He
who's
gets
back?
one bubble, but he gets nano-visored counter. That's really good recognition from Shanghai Dragons to nano-visor the blade.
Obviously, and the Charge
Smart
ain't
play,
going
smart play.
fast either.
And like, what is Develop offering on the attack with this Ashe, right? Just play Soldier at this point.
On losing out on that now.
Like, Develop is just poking. Oh shit, he went Reaper. Fuck yeah, a good switch Develop. That's the ideal one.
See the Shanghai Dragons have once again arrayed themselves on these verticals.
I like the Reaper switch if they can play it right. This gives Develop some space. this, Kron can bubble develop. Choice of One can go in. Should give Choice of One more space when develop goes in to be able to execute people. Let's see how they use the Reaper.
When he's in trouble, just like that, he TPs up, gets headshot by Lip, and now the Dragons have the number advantage. They have the sound barrier advantage. Charge are just waiting for their impending doom of just really unable to push through this underpass. And Dragons,
not great.
This now will be able to start.
Good Switchy says, I guess it happened with 20 seconds left in the map. But like Reaper Zarya, I feel like has to be played. I don't understand how the Zarya gets crazy value if you don't play the Reaper. I also, I just can't get over why APAC hates Soldier so much. Like, Lip is pounding on the Soldier. Soldier is so good, and they just do anything they can to not play Soldier. It's so weird to me. Alright, we go on to Colosseo. Shanghai Dragons looking good with Fate in on the Winston. Fate's been really impressing me on the Winston so far in this series.
Yeah, and develop, like, on the both times.
Seems like he understands how to play the matchup really well.
Soldier or Sombra. So specifically the Sombra against the Valiant, which they
Here's a noob character for noobs. You know what's the most noobie thing? Fucking almost losing to the Guangzhou charge.
And then, oh wait, they won this against Valiant, sorry. And they lost this to the Hunters playing Sombra. So obviously going back to the Soldier is where they were most successful at.
So Soldier is boring. APAC likes honest Overwatch. But honestly, I think the Ashe Echo stuff is even more boring. Because it just feels like there's no synergy. It just feels like they're shooting at each other. Is Torb good? No. Torb's really average. Oh! Sheesh! Dude, Fleta... Would you say Fleta is having the most underperformance in the APAC region? The biggest underperformance in the APAC region? I was going to say in the league, but Masa's in the league. It has to be... I think it's true. In the APAC region, I think Fleta is performing the worst out of everyone. If not, then he's very close. Yeah, Fleta has been struggling so far this season. Yeah, and as I said, it's underperforming to expectations. That's the most important thing. That's the same thing about Masa. Masa's not the worst player in NA. But I have high expectations of Masa. I think he's a great player. I think he's a smart player, but he's just been struggling so far. Same thing with Fleta. He's a great player. He's an MVP of the league, yet he struggles to get going. Like, it feels like he's just sort of getting dragged along a little bit. Masa's being done dirty by being signed by Van. As he said, you can be on a bad team. Masa's just been performing poorly. Like, you can't defend that he's just on a bad team and that's why he doesn't look great. He looks worse than that, right? I hope Master's okay. Same. He sounds like he's going on his Joker arc. I just hope he's taking care of himself because he is a better player than that, and I feel like he's in his head about it, and that's what's making him perform worse. Because he doesn't matter how much, even if Master didn't practice this entire year, this entire offseason, he should still be better performing than he is now. So hopefully he can find some confidence and get back to the Master we know and love. Because I respect the fuck out of him.
Passive in order to get the nano visor online, and sometimes you might even nano before the visor is ready, as the Dragons are generating their own ultimates.
Oh, Sparkle is another good shout actually as well. In comparison to expectations, Sparkle's been struggling. Ooh. And you know what I have to do as well in here as we're watching the Shanghai Dragons pound Guangzhou into a crisp? I have to give respect to Rush for recognizing that Sparkle's not playing well, and instead of just forcing him into the lineup, find a way to adjust. They've been playing Edison, they've been playing Gurio, they've been playing Doha. They have 4 DPS. Don't force Sparkle into a position that he's not comfortable and take him out of the lineup. That's how it should be. So I give respect to Rush. You know, a lot of people aren't willing to bench their poster child for their roster. Same thing with Fearless, yeah. Same thing with Fearless. Like, Fearless and Sparkle are sitting on the bench, and I think that is the right decision. And not many coaches would be willing and have the ability to make those level of decisions. Who's been performing way better than expected? It's an interesting question. Sorry, this game's getting boring, so I think these are interesting questions. Who's been massively overperforming to our expectations? Who are you? Animo, good shouts. Who are you in Animo? I think a great shouts. Zest, I think Zest was not being respected as much as he was. He's being crazy. I think Proper's been performing to expectation. I was high on someone coming into the league. I was high on Ultraviolet coming into the league. I was high on Fitz coming into the league. Edison, I think Edison's a good shout. I think Edison's been really clutch on that on the Reaper. There's been a lot of great players. You know, obviously, there's a lot of things. Kaluge, yeah. Opener's a good shout for me as well. I was looking at Opener's resume and I'm like, but he's actually been pretty solid. I think I've really liked what I've seen from Opener. Kilo becoming the star of San Francisco Shocker Times. Krillin's another great shout. I think he's had some great matches. Dante Doom, I always knew Dante was talented. All good shouts. All right. Punk, yeah. We'll give some love. There's some love for you guys, for the people. Hardy, yeah, actually, that's true. Chat, how did no one else say Hardy? Shame on you. Hardy was literally the most disrespected player coming into this league, into this season. So disrespected. Literally, people were like, this dude should never be signed. Ever. People were like, this is a joke that they signed him. And Chatty has been saying, fuck you guys. He might not be the most versatile. He might not be the best tank in the league. But hey, he's carried this London Spitfire to some wins. And you need to respect that. He put Piggy in the ground. All right, back to this one. The Bad Attack, thank you for the tier 3 8-month sub. Much love. I appreciate you, Bad Attack. Farway, yeah, Farway's been good on the charge. Shanghai channel some Hardy later. Oh god, that's not what I want to hear. Alright, so Charge ended up getting a turn with just the Primal. But I guess everyone has all the ults coming in here. So we got Nano Blade, Nano Visor. I think you go with the... Here's what you do. You go in with the Blade, and then you Nano Visor. That's my call. Choice of one goes in, tries to pull the Blade, forces the Lee J Gon beat, tries to get one. If he doesn't and gets the beat out, that's a dub. Tries to live, and then Nano Visor after it. That's the play. Develops dead. That wasn't in my plan.
Pushes a momentum-based game, and every time you miss somebody, he's got the best non-branded sneakers there is when it comes to Develop, but you're still just losing.
You got antied? Yeah, I don't know where Develop was, but that was definitely not great. Plan fails or plan B. If your soldier dies, it's time to disengage. Oh, so they Nano Visor, get the beat out, but then they lose to their own Nano Visor. So, yeah, okay. You remember how we made a plan? This was awful. This is the worst form of the plan. So let's talk about it. So what happens is they want to engage with the Nano Visor. They're in a weird spot to engage with the Nano Visor. Fate reacts perfectly, recognizing the Nano Visor. Primal into the Nano Visor. The biggest counter to Nano Visor is just raw HP. Fate's going to do that. He's going to put his body on the line, run it forward. Great reaction by the Shanghai Dragons. Flip, recognize it, goes in for the flank. Fate juggles them in. They do their own Nano Visor. All of a sudden, Develop gets punished. Lee J Gon's going to beat in case Fate's going to die. Unique beats to try and save Develop. Does not save him. In an attempt to try and save it, Choice of One pulls the blade in recognition that they've got the plan, but he's doing it into a Nano Visor. Not going to work. Choice of One pulls the blade. That's too many Qs by the Guangzhou charge and not a team fight win. That's not great. And this is a prime example that I think a lot of weaker teams do, is they don't know when to cut their losses. When that Nano Visor did not work, Fate primaled into him, lip pops the Nano Visor, Lee J Gon beated. If they had just accepted that fight was lost at that point, they saved the unique beat, they saved the Choice of One blade. That's not a bad fight for them. It's really not. It's fine. That's 4 big ultimates. You use 2, but then you come back with blade, you come back with beat, then you can win the next fight. But by committing these ultimates, how do you come back into this map? Like, at what point, like, what is your win condition? The Shanghai Dragons are about to push it. They're probably going to get the checkpoint for it as well. Oh, shit, Lip died. Well, they're not going to get the checkpoint, but they at least have the position. Charge have so far to go that, and they have no ultimates. They're only going to get, you know, like I talked on Dorado, they're going to get one more good ultimate cycle in which they're maybe going to be able to stagger this through. If you're the Charge, you need to try and find a pick here.
They have to be negotiated through mechanical outplays and positional.
There's the win con, kill Lip. Yeah, I guess that helps.
Is looking for far away for that early stick, but develop is just as juicy.
Fletcher's just looking for any homie to
Yeah, Fleta wanted to stick Rio there bad.
homie but fake. Or any homie but Rio. Of course you want to stick your own teammate.
God, the league's popping up. Yeah, honestly, we haven't seen a lot of negativity
Dragon's still in a good
in this
spot.
season. And even though, like, we're very negative on the Vancouver Titans this season. Sorry, I'm just going to go on another tangent. This is just a VOD full of tangents. There's a lot of negativity about the Vancouver Titans. But the nice thing about the Vancouver Titans is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, they have good players. If they play the right compositions and they play the right comps and just their players start performing to the level we expect, Shockwave, Aspire, Masa, False, if he's able to get on a hero he's comfortable on, they have good options, right? Like, they have good options. There is redeeming qualities. Unlike last year where it's like the London Spitfire is like, and the Vancouver Titans is like, these guys just straight up aren't going to win. So, sorry, I said composition and comms. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, the Vancouver Titans aren't going to win until the August 14th. Unless something crazy happens and they have like a fucking Space Jam level intervention. Oh, that was close. Unless they have a Space Jam level intervention, I don't see them winning until August 14th. But we'll see. Well, it's on August 14th. If you are not up to date with the memes, August 14th is the next time the Vancouver Titans have a winnable match. Let me bring it up for you. For anyone else who still is not aware of the meme, let me show you what August 14th means. This is their upcoming matches for the Vancouver Titans. They play San Francisco Shock, the Los Angeles Gladiators, the Houston Outlaws, Atlanta Reign, Dallas Fuel, San Francisco Shock, Washington Justice, then the Toronto Defiant. And on August 14th, they play the Paris Eternal. August 14th is the date in which the Vancouver Titans potentially have a winnable match. And that's the August 14th mean, if you haven't missed it. Maybe July 9th, if Washington decides to shit the bed, but they have so much talent on their roster, even though they're dead to me, it would be impressive if they stayed this bad at this point. So put it in your calendars, August 14th. That's the moment. Don't say that. No, I'm sorry, Arena. I mean, Washington's going to be great. Don't say that as well. Okay. I'm just going to stop talking about Washington.
Manhandle their way through a battle using something like a nano boost. You got to think about the fight after that and then the fight after that as well. Fate simply keeps TS1 in place. The indecisive robot back and forth. It doesn't know where the allegiance leads. Here's a nano visor likely to come through.
Fate goes down, clean, off just a nano. Okay. So they got their ult cycle in another minute. They actually got their ults up really quickly off of that back of thing and their thing. So this is winnable now. They get just a nano. And they get the kill on Fate. If they go aggressive, they can clean this up here. Yeah, don't stop here. This is clean up everyone. You go for everyone here. Push the bot. Keep going. This is actually very winnable for the Guangzhou Charge here. Because I don't believe that the Shanghai Dragons got it to the checkpoint. They just need to win one fight here. What's the win condition, chat? All right, let's do some learning with Custa in a VOD review. What do you think is the win condition for the Guangzhou Charge here, assuming that they've done perfect ult tracking? They're probably going to nano Fate into you. I think primaling people off the map, I think it's abandon the backline and then beat the backline. So Fate's going to get nanoed in and he has primal. You need to try and get them into a place in which you can get a highly valuable primal rage and visor. I think you want Rio to go aggressive, get a really good primal. And then I think if you can get him in a room, pull the blade or pop the visor. But I think you need to ignore Fate. That Fate is going to come in with a nano and a primal and you just need to live through it. Because they have nothing else. I think aggression is going to be the main way to win this fight. Just live through Fate's primal and nano and then try and go more aggressive. If Guangzhou try and play defensive here, they're going to lose because it's going to give everyone else space to shoot. God damn it, develop. Come on. We didn't even start. The plan's over. It doesn't matter. It's over. They literally just died before any of the plan happened.
So much damage, and Fled's simply stealing the bot away, Lemon.
Just charge.
Well, they did the plan of going aggressive. Everyone else just died.
Now the free spot.
And they lost the point.
It's slowly but surely.
It's okay.
Okay, don't rush me. I don't like being rushed.
Fate Primal. All right, there we go.
Timmy,
Actually, it's not awful.
because so many of Shanghai have returned.
No, it's not great.
Excellent management from Fleta to just win out in the backline while most of his team died and make sure that that
Right.
was gonna be
Once again, go in with the blade, force the beat, hopefully force a nano, live through the nano, whatever they do with the beat, and then go forward with the visor. Hopefully you have a nano by then.
And now it's back to square one for this team, even with the 4 ultimates that they have to play with.
Yeah, the barrier.
Okay. I think it's time to go. Someone's got to follow Rio. You don't want to get this Primal Force for free.
As a plan B, but he gets pulled. Go to plan C. 911. Charge. You have
I'm on plan D already.
You gotta pull this off.
Lemon.
P5, but at least you trade with Lip. You make the numbers
Oh,
equal.
they did it though.
One stands tall when charge needed him.
Did Lee Jagon not beat?
If you can stack
Lee Jagon, you greedy?
you gotta go to play. Blade or develop might want to strike back as a plan B, but he gets pulsed. Go to plan C. 911. Charge. You have 18 seconds, and you gotta pull this off. 4v.
Where's Lee Jagon?
You make the numbers equal. Choice in one stands tall when charge needed him.
I don't think, yeah, Lee Jagon did not seem like he was ready for that.
But over time,
They used the nano as well. Shanghai's throwing.
spot and start the
They got nano visor. Dude, Charge, how do you lose this? How do you throw this map?
Back high ground here as well. He may be
I guess they beat. Alright, hear me out. You nano Winston. You nano Winston early. That's the win condition. If you nano Winston early into the backline, Lee Jagon's gonna panic and beat. And then you have the visor. They're gonna have to come to point, exactly like we said on Midtown. When they come to point, you have the visor. Develop, if you die before the fight starts again, I'm gonna fucking cry. And here's why you don't... Oh, he gets Lee Jagon. It's fine. Oh, far away dies to Izayaki.
We're in a winning position. The charge are only down by 5 meters.
No!
The series from the Dragons. But Dragons have the closer respawn.
They're gonna win.
Keep this going. They just have to play
Oh, Izayaki was so good in this final fight.
by his side. But the charge,
Unless...
they bulldoze
Pause, champ.
The bot will start going any second now once you get Fate out of the way. But
Yes, the spawns are so close for the Dragons compared to the charge.
It's up to Fate to bully Choice in one off the cart, but he's bullying Rio back to spawn. It's up to the 2-on-1 against Choice in one to clear this for the Dragons. Overtime will step away, but Charge get back in time. It's up to Lip to finish this for once and for all.
Yeah.
It's Fleta that gets the kills, and it's the Dragons that force the game 5.
The nano visor from Develop was at the right time, but in the wrong place, Lemon. They were outflanked by Lip, who managed to take away multiple members of the Guangzhou charge, and then, like you pointed out, the...
I think the problem with nanovisoring there is they get too much value out of the beat, right? And you saw that. Lee Jagon's the only one who dies with the beat, and I think they needed to get more out of that. Like, they needed more from that. That's why I wanted to nano the Winston. You nano the Winston, then you apply so much pressure, and they're going to feel the force to come to cart. And I also think one of the biggest problems with Charger, it feels like they're losing people, like random people. Like, how does Izayaki kill Farway in that fight?
And who are you? Still remains in instead of Fleta here, which is an interesting choice, evidently leaning a little bit more into those Genjis. I think that there's been a realization here from Shanghai Dragons in the reverse sweep that who are you has been in for every single one of the maps they've won. Although
Shanghai did not deserve this win. The same thing happened with them versus Valiant. They went to fight with Valiant. Shanghai Dragons are just holding on by the skin of their teeth. There is a world in which Shanghai Dragons right now are 0-3. right? Like, they could have easily lost the Valiant, Spark. Sorry, Spark is what I meant. They could have easily lost to Spark, and they could have easily lost to Guangzhou, and they would be 0-3 right now. Can you imagine if Shanghai went 0-3?
A multi-kill. I want to say it was a play that couldn't even been without the ultimate. I don't remember. It's early in the morning, but he is their Genji specialist. I gotta say, he's the executioner when it comes to Genji. On Control Center, it's very flat, not expecting any wins.
All right, Shanghai's going to play the Brawl. That's what someone was talking about. So they're going to play the good old-fashioned Sim Brawl. Is the Sim going to walk out? I'm curious to see if the Sim's actually going to walk out. I don't like the Sim walking out. Yeah, because I don't think Sim's anywhere near as good in Overwatch 2. Because if they don't play the Rhine, it's just bad. So we're going to get Zaya, Reaper, Echo. I actually don't mind both of these comps. As Charge, you just need to live, right? Don't get run at and just stay in the mid-range. As Guangzhou Charge, you just want to stay in that mid-range, keep bubbling, developing. Choice of one, keep shooting shit, keep forcing them out, and then just don't get run at. As long as they don't get pinned and run at, they're fine. You can give up the first cap. That's fine. A BAP? Yeah, people have been playing the BAP, like, you know, like London. Who are using it, actually, as well, which is worth noting.
He takes to the front line. Fate will have to push up. The Shanghai Dragons are pretty low, and you can tell Izuyaki already has Ant Matrix, and they already
Roy de Canelo. Thank you for the 11 months. I love APAC. So silly. Makes one of us. APAC makes me question everything I think I know about Overwatch. Like, consistently, they make me question everything I think I know about Overwatch. Because these are great players and incredible teams, and then they just make me doubt myself.
Using that Wraith form, all of the members of Shanghai Dragons have means of saving themselves, but it's super annoying.
Windows fast, yeah, you can get really quick windows still.
They're going to be very hard pressed to get any early picks.
Oh, Lips in the back
oh wow, good sleep, woken though. Oh, Unique goes down. Gonna commit the nano to this. I think they're so far behind already. I don't know. Oh, Fate out of nowhere. Oh, good wall. Damn, dude. Shanghai's making it look easy.
I don't know if Guangzhou will have really been scrimming much of this London Spitfire style of Ryan and Bap and May. They seem a little bit out of sorts.
I'm kind of curious to know which comp is actually better. I think Shanghai's just better than Guangzhou. Like, that never changes. But I wonder in like an even matchup, like if it was Dallas Fuel playing the Shanghai Dragons in this comp, if it would work, right? I feel like Moira would be much better than BAP because Cole gets more value. I think I can agree with that. Like, I feel like you're playing the Baptiste. I feel like I agree. Cole is better than Cole is better than Window. Moira does more healing than Baptiste usually. Oh, who are you guys down? Ooh. Like, I think the London Spitfire would be much better off playing the Moira over the Baptiste, especially like in the match that they played recently against the Houston Outlaws, where the Doomfist was just killing Landon on cooldown, right? They'd be better off playing a Moira and just playing together in that way. But BAP enables the Rhine only in the mirror. And that's the thing, is the lamp is only hyper valuable in the mirror. I feel like the lamp is, especially with the delay of the lamp coming out these days, I don't know if that's better than just having a Coalescence, because the Coalescence enables the Reinhardt so much, and it's just such a good ultimate. So that's not bad for the Shanghai Dragons. They get the Graviton out. Like, you accept that loss when they use the Graviton. You have the beat, you have the Pulse Bomb coming up. You just run back in with the beat next round.
Midway through that fight, Shanghai Dragons remained in control. They denied 30 to 40% of capture progress here from the Guangzhou Charge.
So they're gonna go Zaya, Soldier, Tracer as like a pivot. I think I would have rather seen Lip go to the Reaper. I think they switched instantly for the retake. I think that's just great recognition, knowing that the Ryan's just so hard to retake with.
I don't know if it really synergizes well with who are you or Lip,
good beat. That was a great beat by Lee Jae-gon. Unique's a little late to the... Like, how does Farway die first? Okay, Lee Jae-gon. Oh, yeah, you saw You saw Lee Jae Gon just wall ride into this backline. That was a classic Lee Jae Gon. And Moira can die in. It's just like Moira's also like, I feel like from what we've watched of people playing the Brawl with the Baptiste, the Baptiste is using the lamp for himself more than he's using it for the Reinhardt, right? And I don't think Lamp is a great defender of the backline, because the reason that makes Lamp so good for tanks is that they can if you keep them alive for 1 second, then they can generally stay alive. Well, that's not true with the backline. Like the backline, saving them for like 2 seconds doesn't really save them, because then they just die after it. See any Doomfist and APAC? Oh, we sure as hell watched some weird Doomfist plays in earlier matches today. Who was playing it? It was Bernard and there was some weird Doomfist earlier in the day. Yeah, Bernard and Krong were... Gaga played something. It was fucking weird. It didn't make any sense. There was no logical reason. I watched Gaga... Was it Gaga try and counter Farrah Mercy with a Doomfist? I watched it with my own 2 eyeballs. Go back and watch my reviews if you want to see that. It's not great.
Shanghai Dragons with only healing rhythms, I'm afraid to say. And so Shanghai will walk away with control.
Krong got some environmental, because Krong actually looked pretty good on the Doomfist on that well. But Doom's just not good. So Guangzhou is going to play the Xayah Echo Mercy Soldier. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about the Xayah Echo Mercy. I just don't think they help each other. I feel like would you be better off just playing the Winston? Obviously, Krong can't play the Winston, but I'm more talking generally for them as compositionally planning compositions. It doesn't seem like they really know how they want to utilize their players. Like, I like seeing more Krong, but it doesn't feel like they're playing the compositions around Krong to make it work. Who are you, Genji? Yeah, who are you, Genji? Is going to be good. I like the Dragons comp. I think the Dragons comp makes sense. Has Sojin or Orisa been played? Sojin got played today by Leave for the final fight of Watchpoint Gibraltar, where Leave decided that he didn't want to win that map and he would rather play Sojin.
Krong is so far split from the rest of the team, but crunches are so difficult to deal with. You can see the shield there on the bridge from Fate was supposed to block off healing from far away.
Oh, Izzyaki. Choice of One's kind of pounding on the Echo, though. Oh.
He's executing left and right, but Charge, are you gonna wait for an ultimate for every engage? Echo is such a good hero in the neutral, which means without an ultimate, that I'd like to see a little bit more eagerness out of him.
Yeah,
okay. It'd be interesting to see how they hold this, Guangzhou, because now that they have positioning, I'm wondering if they're gonna be able to hold here, because Krong literally does nothing. He's a wet noodle. He's literally, it's like someone is defending like the club, you know? Yeah, these people are trying to run into the room and kill, get into the back of the club. And all of a sudden, the bouncer only has a wet noodle to stop people from running past him. You know what I mean? He's like, stop, no, stay away from my backline. Stay away, no, hey, stop it. Like, that's what it feels like. Krong's just fucking sitting there, like, they just run past him. They don't give a shit about Krong. Krong is still, right now, standing on the middle of the point. They literally just ran past him, and then they kill Krong last. Like Krong just ends up being in the middle of the point after his entire team is dead with nothing. Yeah, that analogy went places. I don't really know. I sort of got lost in the sauce on that one. But the point still stands. I do not like the Xayah with the composition that they're playing. If you're not going to make the Xayah's bubble targets a threat, and you're not going to make the Xayah a threat, I don't know why you're playing the Xayah.
Now once again, Choice A1 leads for Charge with the bubble, but really the engagement power of Guangzhou Charge is super weak with this composition. They've just got to follow off the Choice.
Don't encourage him. Ooh, good grab. Great beat. Oh, and he gets slapped. Yeah. That's a problem. The only fight the Charge have won is when they, like, Choice of One went sicko mode. Oh, wow. Nice kill by Develop. Oh, Fate's got a primal? Fate believes in this team fight.
Reverse sweep looking more and more likely with each passing second tier 11. Develop still has a Vice to play with, and Fate won't be beamed on down here by the Echo. Not in a position to really punish that Winston for taking so much damage. But now they'll give it over again, and
Choice One gets lip. Oh, who are you gets developed. I wish I could see who are you Tracer if it's actually like what it's looking like these days, you know? Because obviously his Genjis look great. Oh, Why you and Lee Jagon are gonna farm? Oh, please don't tell me they're gonna win.
The flip has already gone through. The Charge have bought themselves time, but the Dragons are already flipping the objective.
Whoa! Lee Jagon moment. Lee Jagon just flies out of the window in front of Choicer One to do something crazy. Dude, Choicer One's actually doing so much work.
It's about buying time for the rest of the Charge to get back. They cannot lose this fight. Dragons are on round 4.
Oh, good visor. Oh, he got unique as well. Yeah, that's all she wrote. It's so sad that Guangzhou lost this series. I feel like they just struggled. I don't think it was bad. Honestly, I just think they got a little... Shanghai just started playing Fate everywhere, and their compositions when they play Fate actually make sense. You know what I mean? Like, they're just playing the Winston, the Ana, with Lip on the Soldier. It just makes sense. While the Charge, it feels like, you know, their Midtown compositions, their compositions on this Lijiang Tower, they just feel a little off, and it feels like they're fighting an uphill battle. When they're playing these things, Fate gets player of the match, doing a ton of work on the Winston. Yeah, the thing is for Charge that makes it hard is, like, I kind of wish they would just, like, play more Soldier, Tracer, Winston, but Rio Winston doesn't really instill me with faith. So if they're going to play the Xayah, I just want to see them play the Reaper more. I think the Xayah Reaper makes sense from what we've seen from Dallas. There's a lot of, like, growth that you can see from there, but it just doesn't look great. Shanghai Dragons get away with another one. End up going 2-1 so far in their region, but they don't look as good as we expected them to be. Guangzhou, still struggling. There was some better moments from all of their players. I think Unique played better. I think Develop played better. Even Rio and the Winston had some okay moments. So some good signs, but we'll see what happens in the long term. That's the last of my VOD reviews for these APAC region matches over the weekend. Well, on the Thursday night. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time.